How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to UGC Overwatch. I'm Rapture here with JJ, bringing you week 2 of the premier season, a matchup between Annihilation Esports and Avium. JJ, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, it's been a while since we've had the chance to cast together. 2 months, I believe, specifically, but finally be able to finally able to make it back to week 2, and I'm excited to see what these new teams got.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to jump back into a season of UGC Overwatch, and of course these teams know they got a long season ahead of them here in NA Premier, and both of these teams currently are 1-0 as we start off on our first map of Junkertown. Avium taking a win over Lux 2-0 in their previous week, last week, week 1, and then Annihilation Esports winning over Forever and Ever, also 2-0 in week 1. So both of these teams undefeated so far. It is week 2, but still it does say something about how they're doing momentum-wise going into this one, JJ. And as we get into Junkertown, that will be our first map. We'll also have Eichenwald and Horizon Lunar Colony. Avium, we know, I mean, they kind of, did very well against Lux, and they are going to be the squad in the red on offense first.
Yeah, we'll see what they pull out here right now for Avium. It looks like they're going to be going for, I imagine, just the natural types of compositions that we like to see. Right now I'm having a little bit of issue loading things in, but things will smooth themselves out and we'll actually be able to see what characters are coming out of the game right here.
Yeah, at least for the defense, they're going for a pretty common setup, hiding behind an Orisa shield, using the Widowmaker and the Roadhog to get some nice sight lines held down behind the shield. Dantuist already taking a big shot to the body from the Widowmaker on the opposing team. That'll be Yankee Wolf doing some nice shots in there. So it's going to be a battle of Widowmakers, battle of Roadhogs here. Difference, though, Sox has the Hanzo, while there isn't another DPS character, or, DPS-oriented potentially character or tank for the other side. So, Avium already getting some movement because not only do they have the Roadhog, but also the Hanzo.
And we're just seeing a consistent push from Avium here. Nothing almost lost consistently right now. Annihilation kind of backing up, but Zeshi able to get Dantuist up in the back trying to get a snipe right now. No form of backline. A Dragon Strike coming out, and they're pushed back to a corner.
Yeah, Annihilation in the blue, still holding onto the payload for now, but they now have to push up onto it as their Roadhog gets hooked. Story's unable to get up the kill immediately, and Sox is going to get picked off by Yankee, so a slight advantage here. Yankee gets another one. A whiffed hook there from Pixel, but the cleanup on Cedro comes through nonetheless. 2 minutes and 53 seconds on here, and Avium is finally cut down.
Dantuist having to back out there at the end, but him being taken out, initially the Dragon Strike coming through, them all being backed up to a corner thinking, should we leave, should we stay? It definitely separated them right now. Avium having to come back in, but they do have a good lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have like a ton of ult charge built off of those fights. So they can still go for some picks here. Great hook from Story to get rid of Pixel. Story gets picked off, though, for their trouble, not behind the Orisa shield. And with Pixel getting rezzed, Story can't be affording to get one hook and dying like that. Pixel will pick off Sox. So you're also seeing the difference the Mercy makes. These trading hooks can be, big impact plays. But if the Mercy's waiting right there, it's going to get nullified immediately.
Yeah, that's probably what we're going to be seeing constantly. It looks like we will be seeing, I'm not sure if Avium had a Roadhog, but if they did, we're going to be seeing a switch there, and that is honestly the biggest plays right now. Those one-shots coming from Widowmaker, those coming from Roadhog.
And Story with, Carrots throwing a self-destruct downtown. Makes it look easy. Hui and Seamus both getting bopped by the self-destruct, and Sox looks like they might get cleaned up as well, but Story will put the defense matrix in place. Carrots gets demech'd. Will get bolstered by the Mercy, but that healing wasn't there in time to keep the mech alive. Nonetheless, the offense was, is going to reset just for a little bit, waiting for the rest of their team to get back in. Once they do, they're going to start putting some pressure on the payload. An Orisa Supercharger, though, is going to be waiting for them, and Cedro now throws down there, so their duration will be out a little longer. But Cedro, throwing it down, is a little out of position, gets hooked easily by Pixel, who then cleans up not only them, but the Supercharger, though Fada did steal the kill. And now the payload's moving for the offense. Avium not only has control of it, but a nano-boosted Diva that pushes off Carrots, that is, and Pixel falling back. Both of these tanks for Annihilation Esports have a Mercy helping them out here, but the Dragon Strike for Sox will separate that front line from the rest of the Annihilation. Yankee Wolf, though, big pick on the Dantuist. Both of these teams just kind of trading evenly until Yankee Wolf getting into the fray. Big picks. Carrots finds Seamus. It looks like another defensive hold.
Avium's trying to look for something. They're trying to take advantage of that double sniper composition, but we will be seeing a switch from Hanzo to Genji. Looks like they want more frontal power, and they've got the damage. The Discords hitting it up a lot harder. Dantwist trying to come off to the side, but that Genji might just be enough to push that damage just a little bit farther towards the people they're not able to kill.
Yeah, and I think they might eventually put Cedro on the Winston. We'll see though. Having that shield is definitely a big deal for the Widowmaker, and Widowmaker now going to throw down those eyes. They're going to see through the walls, and Story has a self-destruct here, so they can still get this going. There's a self-destruct thrown in. There's no shield covering them, and Hops gets picked up. That's one of the biggest picks they could have. No resurrections for Annihilation Esports. This is Avium's opportunity. A big sleep, though, from Zesh, and Story going to take a nap. I'm not entirely sure how a mech's getting some sleep either, but I guess machines need some rest, too. Self-destruct downtown, and right through mid lane, Carrots finds Dantwist, but the payload is cruising right through the payload, right to the first checkpoint until Carrots touches it, gets D-Mech. Gonna get staggered for the time being. Though Faded trying to peek a little bit, they'll also get punished. Story steals the kill away from Sox, and finally Avium will find the first checkpoint.
Beautiful play from Avium, a combination of not only the Diva Bomb, but and Cedro going a little bit too forward there, but Cedro be able to put the shield forward the moment that the enemy Orisa got anti-healed. That not only allowed her not to get healed, not to get any form of help, but not get any heals after the anti-heal went off, took out everybody in between and just kept pushing it along the way.
Yep, sticking with that Orisa definitely paid off, and of course they're building towards the supercharger, which Cedro now has, so the timing worked out for them. I mean, Seamus is also waiting on the nano boost, so that can be thrown likely onto Sox as they're about to have the blade ready to go. The Genji ultimate could clean up this backline for Annihilation as they're situated up on the high ground here. And Pixel and Faded and Carrots doing most, if not all, the damage. So Yankee Wolf looking for some picks to stop the fight before it gets going. Sox goes right in, but it's Yankee Wolf that gets nano boosted right in their way, and Sox gets picked off. Instead, Dantwist is the one that got nano boosted, and they don't find any kills. Faded then gets Cedro. It's a 6v4 advantage, 6v3 now for Annihilation Esports, and that's more than enough to win this fight against Avium. They're going to get thrown back to spawn here, and it's about 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining on the clock for the offensive push for Avium.
Good switch from Annihilation there, going to the McCree. I didn't see it at first, but considering that they're throwing a Genji at them, they was able to stop the Genji blade beautifully, and Yankee Wolf right now is slightly popping off.
Yeah, and Avium looking for that, electric cowboy combination, throwing it onto Dantwist on the McCree, but Sox seemed like the obvious pick there with the Nano Blade, and Yankee Wolf, yeah, that was unfortunate. Yankee Wolf had the Nano Boost waiting for Sox there. And now here's the high noon from Yankee Wolf, and that's going to zone away the offense. Avium has to go back to cover, wait that out, and that's just more time off their offensive push. Oh, and Story gets hooked, though doesn't get picked off as the angle's not right. And then Sox allowed to stay alive long enough to get the self-destruct off. No one's in position to get killed. Only Pixel really gets hit, and they're just too chunky for that to get enough for that to be killed, enough for them to get killed by it. And Hops with the res, and now a self-destruct though. This could even things up. Carrots with another kill on the Dantwist. And this is just more and more going for Annihilation Esports. Avium looking for ways in, but they don't seem to have the solution. They don't seem to have the key. Dantwist has a high noon, but they're not back on the fight just yet. Story with one on Pixel. Supercharger goes down. Cedro Stein is trying to stay alive, and they do get faded, and they're getting shot on all sides, but still alive on it. And now looking for Hops. A nice halt right in, trying to clean up the Mercy. Can't do it. A lot of self-healing there. But the rest of the team goes down. Dantwist with a 2K, plus the kill onto Carrots, so Story steals it away. Again, Avium just in the nick of time, getting control of the payload, winning the fight, and moving towards the checkpoint.
So they might be going for... No, actually, they're just going to be going around here. But yeah, excellent phase 2 coming forward. Again, using that Dragon Strike to just separate the enemy team. And with the staggers coming from Annihilation, it just wasn't enough to be able to hold that point.
And not a lot of time here to work with, JJ. I mean, 1 minute and 15 seconds or so for Avium to push this. They still haven't rounded the corner, so this would come down to 1 or 2 really substantial fights here that Avium need to win, right? So they can't afford to be losing any time. And of course, Annihilation Esports going to be looking to stagger the offense, but Sox starting it off right, kills Yankee Wolf with a 6v5 advantage, and that means the high ground could be pursued here for Avium tanks. Though Story and the Winston Cedro kind of get bopped off. Cedro now in the Winston, looking towards to build that Primal Rage as soon as possible. Another jump up there. They finally get on the high ground as a duo, and Story along with Cedro, are going to continue to push and finally do get the other opposing Winston off, while Pixel gets cut down by Dan Twist. And now, again, Avium pushing up aggressively here as they get 1 or 2 kills. Pixel will get res from Hops, and Hops has been, used the Valkyrie earlier, is building halfway towards the next one. There's an Nano Boost. That's going to have an aggressive faded right into the front grill of Avium. And Sox and Seamus both getting popped off by Yankee Wolf. Yankee Wolf putting their mark on this fight immediately. Avium, that's so unfortunate for them, losing their Ana and their Widowmaker before the fight really was, closer towards the end of the map there, JJ. Now less than 10 seconds, Avium trying to scrap together yet another offensive push off this Primal Rage Cedro, and Cedro picks off 2. They have to touch it, they do just in time. Dan Twist alive on the Genji, rejoins on the payload, but then jumps around. They have to be careful. Avium has to keep a body on the payload. They don't want to get C9'd here. Overtime, taken away. Story and the Winston still on. Dan Twist with the Genji blade, and they're going to go in. Finds 2, looking for more, but that's definitely enough to get payload control here for Avium. Now an aggressive push from Cedro, trying to keep the defense from rejoining. There's a self-destruct on the point, and it's just going to keep Carrots to keeping them contested on the point there and allowing their Mercy to Valkyrie. Zesh with the kill onto Cedro. Now, the defense being able to get back in here with the closest spawns, and Pixel with the blade. It's just in time as it finds 2. The squishy supports are right there, primed for the taking. It would fade it on Dan Twist. Oh, Avium just doesn't have enough to sustain and keep themselves alive towards the end of the map just in time, too. The defense, Annihilation Esports, getting there, getting the kills in time, and they will deny Avium that last checkpoint, that last point, and setting themselves up here to win the map outright on their offensive attempt.
Avium did get a good push going up there towards the mid. It's literally, as you said, unfortunate losing their Widowmaker and I believe their Ana going up, moving forward. But then all of a sudden it became an opposite unfortunate for Annihilation, losing not only their Mercy but as well as their Ana. 0 form of sustain, allowing Avium to be able to push the point almost close enough to be able to capture it. Even though they weren't able to get the point all the way to 3rd, it is a good distance that Annihilation has to go now.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's, of course, as close as you can really do without actually getting the map, essentially, pretty much. So, definitely a good attempt otherwise. And we saw some good adaptation from the offense. Avium, Cedro going from the Orisa to the Winston. We saw Sox moving around multiple characters, Widowmaker, Hanzo, Genji, Story moving around as well. And then solid play from, Seamus and Hui, the support line of Avium, to keep the team alive in some clutch moments. And that's really Avium. That's kind of like a little bit of their bread and butter, is like they've played some really strong fights, but then those clutch moments they are able to bring it together. They went 2 for 3, JJ. That was the thing. They had 2 of the checkpoints in clutch moments. For the 3rd time, finally, Annihilation Esports got them, and now that's earned Annihilation their offensive attempt, and only have to get to that end of the checkpoint. They only have to get, essentially the completion of the map, and they'll be up 1-0.
We'll have to see. Annihilation so far showing that they understand switches. They definitely, going into almost every single fight, the moment they lose it, they understand what needs to be switched, what needs to go forward. So execution definitely seems like something that's going to be an advantage on their side. So we'll have to see how that works here on the attack.
Annihilation in blue moving out on offense with the Orisa, Hanzo, Widowmaker. They're going for the double sniper, triple sniper really if you count Ana, composition with Hops on the Mercy still. So they'll have reses, and that's big because Sox doesn't have a Mercy. So if Yankee Wolf gets these picks still, Yankee Wolf can get killed themselves and easily res by Hops. There's no one gonna, there to res Sox. So Sox cannot get picked here. And same with Dantuous. They don't have any res. Oh, nice halt there from Faded to try and get some extra damage beyond the Cedro Orisa shield. And then a boost back there from Story, keeping the offensive line of Annihilation Esports at bay for just a moment. Carrots and Faded still putting a lot of shots, a lot of DPS on. Meanwhile, Sox in the background looking for some shots. And of course, Story. Oh, Story's D-Max Carrots as well. Just playing very aggressively here, not giving Annihilation Esports a lot of room to work with. And Avium, that's paying off for them. Story gets another kill there. It's not their first, certainly not their first for the set. Sox finding Hops, and that's going to be a pretty definitive kill there and win for the Avium squad, JJ, as Annihilation Esports, losing a minute and change and their lives.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Very equalized compositions coming in both here. Annihilation trying to take, again, advantage of those double snipers, but with a good pool, mini-grab coming from Orisa, and a combination of anti-heal, it just went completely on Avium's favor there.
Yep. Yankee Wolf popping ult. Gonna be able to see it, playing a little aggressively here. Oh, looking for the Hanzo, gets the pick. Nice play there. Dantuous didn't even see it coming. Now Yankee Wolf looking for another one. There's the Ana. Oh, Otto literally had to take a one step back and Yankee Wolf would have taken their head off, but doesn't line it up. Now the fight transitioning back towards the payload once more. Cjo has the supercharger down, and Hui's going to play aggressively on that Zenyatta along with Story to try and put some more damage down. Take advantage of the supercharger. Cjo, though, losing it eventually. The duration peters out, and Sox looking on Faded gets the kill. Oh, nice hook there inside. Story's still going to stay alive, though. Dantuis getting some revenge on the Yankee Wolf, and Hops, too, taking out the Devil and the Angel. And Cjo for 2. That's another stop. Avium holding on strong on defense against Annihilation Esports.
Again, mechanically just beautiful. Seamus able to get a sleep dart onto, I believe it was Hops over on Mercy. With 0 sustain coming out and that sleep going its full duration, there was just nothing that Annihilation could do to be able to withstand that damage.
1 minute and 30 seconds left here for Annihilation Esports on their offensive attempt, as they still haven't gotten into the first checkpoint here, JJ, while Avium has gotten almost the entirety of the map. So even if we get through this first leg of the race, essentially, there's still a lot more to go, a lot more laps to be done. And Yankee Wolf again looking for a low ground sight line here. There's a shield in the way trying to help out. There's a Hanzo that could be picked there, while Faded gets biotic grenaded. So nice dragon strike right through mid. So against that biotic grenade, it'll be some anti-healing that really can't be followed up on. And Cjo throwing that shield down, now looking for Hops, gets him down to about half health, but they will get away just in time. Now there's a self-destruct from above, not going to find pay dirt. Cjo getting closer to a supercharger, while Seamus closer to a nano boost, and that'll be harder to work through this for Annihilation Esports. Cjo on a 10-player kill streak, nice job. And yeah, so Avium stacking up ultimates left and right here, though Dantuis does go down, and Story's going to lose their mech, but Sox finds Yankee Wolf, and Seamus goes down as well. So nice picks here. That actually could be enough to get this payload going, but Avium is stacking those ultimates for the inevitable last fight. Oh, Sox getting pixel late, too. Cjo did a lot of that damage there, and we'll have the supercharger ready to go. 15 seconds left as Carrots, harassing in the back line now on the high ground as Hops gets the res on the pixel, but Carrots is super low, gets demeched, and Cjo has the supercharger, giving his team a little cover in the back as the payload has 1 or 2 players on it. Now nano boosted is Cjo, who has a shield, throws down the supercharger that forces out the transcendence from Zesh. Overtime ticking away here. Story finds Carrots. Fada gets a supercharger. The Winston trying to contest. There's a dragon strike trying to separate Annihilation Esports and get them off the point, and it's working as overtime's ticking away, but someone finally touches it. There's the Genji blade coming out there, but Pixel gets cut down immediately. Faded and Yankee Wolf getting on the board. Faded for another one, and definitely more alert than you would expect from the name. Yankee will find Seamus, and it's all in control for Annihilation Esports, but Sox gets one more before they should eventually get cut down here. Overtime ticking away, and finally Annihilation Esports just in time too. In about 2 minutes and 30 seconds or less now, finally getting the first checkpoint.
So close on both sides, all ultimates used, nothing held back from either side, and I can't even pinpoint exactly what went well on both sides. Just complete meticulation priority and the combination of just, really good ultimates coming on both ends.
Yeah, Faded on the Winston for sure, getting a bunch of kills, knocking away Avium, so it made it hard for them to really hold their ground, hold sight lines. Yankee Wolf for some big picks, and they even went through that, even though Pixel didn't get much, actually anything at all off of their Genji blade too. So and Faded now trying to get even more value out of this Winston, pushing up aggressively here, though Zesh gets cut down. Dantuis put down by Pixel, so even trade is Hops, and now gonna get the res again. That Mercy, such a big deal here for Annihilation Esports, and it really can make that difference, as normally you'd have to wait for your support to get right back in here. They don't have to wait at all. They use this self-destruct to get things going. Nice proactive self-destruct. It's not going to find a kill, but it's giving a lot of room here for Annihilation Esports. So Yankee Wolf does go down. Story and Story and Seamus, that is, getting on the point. Dantuis there too. It's Transcendence from Zesh right into the back line there. Now the self-destruct onto Avium, and they're not going to get picked off. Now Carrots on the point. Story gets in their grill. Pixel looking to demech this Diva, and Dantuis trying to help him out. Or trying to help other Diva, that is. But Faded finding Dantuis, and Pixel does eventually demech Story. And here's the snowball. The rolling wheels here, even if the payload is floating, those wheels have certainly been greased. Another checkpoint here for Annihilation Esports. It took a lot for them to get through that first leg here, JJ. But the second leg came a lot quicker.
Yeah, and for the most part, again, equalized when it comes to compositions. But going over in Annihilation, they're just able to make it more efficient, much more quicker when it comes to the kills with the tanks going to the back line. And right now, that's helping them a ton.
Yeah, and the tank line here, for Annihilation Esports, playing very well. Faded and Carrots working well as a duo, but Faded plays very aggressively as a Winston. Like, really, like doesn't care about getting in the face of 4 players at once. Will chase down the other Winston, and then when you think you have a 1v1, Carrots will come in and join you. As Faded though gets bopped back by Cedro, Dan Twist finds Zesh, cuts them down, socks for 2, and that's a team kill. Essentially, there, Carrots is gonna get staggered and blown back, not gonna be able to get their Mac immediately, and then finally, they will be thrown into the graveyard by Cedro. A big win for Avium, throwing and reducing Annihilation Esports to 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Combination of Nanoblade, excellent sniping from Sox, and a beautiful frontline rush. All good works, and Avium finally able to hold back Annihilation.
Yeah, and this is where we saw Avium just before here with about 1 minute and 20 seconds or so to go through the the third and final phase of Junkertown here. And now that payload are going to be moving around the corner. There's that sound barrier though from Avium. That's going to bolster a team to play aggressive and go right in. They get rid of Zesh. They get rid of Faded. 6v4 advantage now for Avium, and they're going to continue to push it, leaving the Mercy just at the end. Story will get that kill as Sox finds Yankee Wolf just beforehand. 50 seconds now for Annihilation Esports. They have one ultimate, but 2 ultimates now. They're about to get the Valkyrie, but they probably wish they had more than that.
Yeah, and Avian right now taking advantage of this corner. From this corner, they can attack almost any form of direction these guys have to go through. All of them having to walk through a corner in order to get any form of advantage when it comes to shooting, and they're just taking advantage of it right now.
Now, this is where Annihilation can really get things done. Oh, Pixel finds Cedro early. That's such a huge pick. Fada's going to be able to run wild as their Winston, though. Fada's going down super low. They don't have Primal Rage just yet. They finally get it, and they're going to hit Q as Yankee and Faded and Carrots both get some kills and a DMAC. But Faded gets slept. A huge slap from Huey. Faded is losing all that ultimate charge there. The Primal Rage pretty much gets wasted. What an impeccable sleep there from Huey. And now there's less than 1 second remaining. Overtime now ticking away for Annihilation Esports. And look at this. Avium is about to have a ton of ultimates online for this last fight here. Cedro is about to have their Primal Rage. Dan Twist, Story, and Huey sitting on theirs. Sox now switching over to the Bree. That's the extra crowd control will be crucial to shut down the mobile tanks of Annihilation Esports. Nice Transcendence comes out from Sesh just in time. And as their self-destruct gets one. Our Story gets theirs. Pixel gets one. Cedro with a kill. All ultimates being charged and used here as Dan Twist with their blade gets faded. Huey gets Zesh. Overtime taking away. Avium has control. They get the kills. They get the hold. And Annihilation Esports unable to finish the map as Avium with a final win at the end of Junkertown to get the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, no rush from Avium there at the end. They went nice, slow, just jumped the monkey at first, baited out the Diva Bomb, used everything in their repertoire to be able to move in, move out. Genji, not even popping a blade in between his nano boast, using that damage, and just went perfect for them.
Hey, don't you hate it when you get, like, pushed by somebody and some dude with a bow and arrow just, like, clocks you in the face?
Yes.
Man, that was quite a fight there. A great map from both of those teams, Avium and Annihilation Esports, putting on a show on Junkertown and setting the tone for this set and this best of 3. That is, this is one of the things. I wish some of these sets we could have longer ones between these two teams, but it is, quick and fast Overwatch here at UGC Overwatch here, Premier NA Week 2, Annihilation Esports, Avium. And it is 1-0 for Avium as we're moving to Horizon Lunar Colony. And remember, Eichenwald will be the tiebreaker if it comes down to it. If we can see a second map win here for Annihilation Esports, it will go to Eichenwald. But it is all time for Horizon Lunar Colony, map 2. We're going to be moving into this one, JJ, with an Avium 1-0 lead. Moving into this one, any expectations?
Hard to say. I mean, as I said before, both of these teams running almost very similar compositions, almost all the way through. If one of them runs dive, the other one's going to run dive into it. If someone's running defense, the other one's going to get dive, then all of a sudden we see switches. Seeing what happened there at the end of Junkertown, it was close. It was all left to just that small amount of distance, and all because I'd say Avium was able to push just a little bit farther. Imagine if they hadn't done that. They probably would have even lost that map, considering if they weren't able to take just that small advantage. So it's just the little things that's seemingly making both these teams get the up on each other. So I'm expecting just very close fights coming in on this Horizon map.
Yeah, for sure. And I was about to say I would love to see some Sombra here, and Dan Twist might hold on to that pick It really is, I think, in some ways, coming down to these individual character picks and differences in these compositions. We aren't seeing mirror matches. The Mercy was a pretty solid pick for the entirety of Junkertown from a Hops, and the Mercy made a difference with those resurrections in like the Widowmaker battles, like your Ana alive, etc., like that, stuff like that. Carrots and Faded doing really well on the tank line, but then of course you had Avium, had Socks and Hui, Hui with that sleep at the end. That was what a great
Mhm.
sleep to shut down Faded on the Primal Rage. Dan Twist on those Genji blades, Cedro. So like these individual plays from both of these teams are crucial, and it's coming down to like their individual character picks. Like here we're seeing a Doomfist from Pixels, so that's another character you're gonna see that can make all the difference with that crowd control, with an ultimate that's intangible. Dan Twist on the EMP is certainly going to be their rival. See who can hit the fattest punches or the biggest EMPs.
It's been a while since I've seen some good Ana play coming out in gameplay, so it's a
Yeah.
refreshing thing to see.
Yeah, the big, boost she got, getting that immediate 300 HP buff from throwing down, a biotic grenade, just like makes her so much more valuable. Having those debuffs is really big, especially in against compositions lately in this meta, which have been like, goats dominated, the 3-3, very tanky compositions. Being able to just like biotic your entire team and then anti-heal the entirety of their team, which could very well be clumped up, can make the difference. But you're seeing where it doesn't work out as well when the other team is much more mobile than you are, and Ana is certainly not the most mobile of characters. Once that dive comes right in, those dive tanks just jump on you. You have the extra healing from the Lucio and the Moira just singling you out. Socks on that tracer just singling you out as well. It can be very hard to deal with, and you see it working out well for Avium.
And Avium just taking it slow, just nice, slow procedural. They look for the moment that they need in order to hop in, and they take it without any form of hesitation.
Yeah, it's surgical in a way, like slow and steady wins the race, and Avium working their way towards an EMP and a Primal Rage until Pixel gets a nice shield bash into Cedro, and that'll be a nice concussion there for Cedro. Probably not nice. Oh, Socks, though, there's the nice play. Pulse Bomb onto Carrots and a Hop, so Socks shutting down looked like the defense getting in quickly on this offensive push, but the nano boosted Monkey plus Pixel killing Socks has pretty much shut it down, even though Dan Twist did find Zesh at the tail end. But look at this. 6 minutes for Avium. I'm sure they're not sweating at all.
Oh, definitely, and they've got all their ultimates coming up, except for Tracer Bomb. It's going to be a harsh defense coming in for Annihilation.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is one of those situations in Overwatch where the offense really wants to be right and win a fight once, and the defense has to win every single fight here. That's a lot to ask for on Assault. 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go, and look at all the ultimates here for Avium. An EMP, a sound barrier, both going down. Cedro finds Zesh, there's nowhere for them to go. No biotic grenade to use to defend themselves, and a Primal Rage from Faded, able to keep them alive just in time. That could be the difference maker, as long as a self-destruct from Carrots gets some kills, but it doesn't. Cedro now on Yankee Wolf gets one. Story with the self-destruct and a Transcendence opposing them from Hops, and both these teams just refuse to let go. And not as many kills as you would expect from Avium, considering how many ultimates they use, but they have control of the point still. They haven't gotten the first third. Now, Cedro has to get out of there, but can't with their lives. Story finds Faded. Yankee Wolf on Seamus and Carrots, along with this Bree, Pixel are able to throw Avium back towards their spawn, chewing away about a minute or so from this offensive push.
Annihilation running a dive is fascinating because look at the space they're giving them. They're holding this little corner by the crates here, running into the rooms if they have to, and even with all that Avium had thrown, which is all their ultimates, it wasn't enough to take them out with literally zero contestation on the point, by technicality anyway.
Yeah, right. So like, yeah, even though they had some good positioning on it, they couldn't at least get that one tick, so it didn't pay off in the end. And Avium going in, but they're shut down pretty much by a big biotic grenade from Zesh, though eventually they will find kills. 44 situation though, and there's the EMP from Dan Twist. Finds Hops. Now in control of the point is Avium, and they do get that tick. Carrots though trying to chase down this Lucio and some more, trying to do some damage, trying to get rid of them, but all they're going to do is force out their own self-destruct, which is going to get blocked by Cedro. Faded jumps in though right immediately after, trying to put some pressure onto Cedro, who gets charged and blocked down and shut down there. Seamus and Dantus with some kills. There's the Earth Shatter. Hops can't even deny it, along with the Fire Strike. Self-destruct from up top just for good measure, and Avium will secure their first 2 points here on Horizon Lunar Colony, and that might be all they need Remember, if they hold Annihilation Esports on point A, this will be it. So now Avium on match point, all they have to do is hold off Annihilation Esports, and they will take the set 2-0. JJ, Avium pretty much, they, like you said, they took it slow and steady in that first push, and they got some smooth kills very cleanly. And then the second one, they got held back a couple times, but really it just came down to using their ultimates all at the same time, and eventually the kills came their way.
No, I suppose I just want to apologize. It's my fault for respecting the beauty of such a good form of strategy, but that strategy being good against dive. I mean, a beautiful answer from Avium, just going in for a nice, good death ball. The fact that they have no form of contestation on the point means that a death ball is a perfect answer. Them starting off, having them come to them and running to a Reinhardt is not a good idea. You're going to get slapped around, and that's exactly what happened. 0 ultimates over on Avium. And yet, all that worked was the mechanical composition that they brought through. And yeah, no, and it's just as simple as that, I suppose. Coming into the next round, I suppose I expect no less coming out from them.
Yeah, and I would love to see if Avium sticks on this composition with the Torb and Junkrat, which Annihilation won't have any idea that's coming. And they have a Symmetra, which I doubt they're going to stick with, but maybe they will. So, against this composition, the defense of Avium, they have a shield barrier. It's going to be hard to break through that. They have a bunch of spam damage with the turret and a Junkrat. They have Roadhog, who's going to be able to break down any barrier that Annihilation uses, and some quick picks means that they can shut down fights before they even really begin, along with Sox on the Widowmaker. So, some good chemistry for the defensive, composition here. No surprise having an Orisa and a Torb together makes sense. Goes together like peanut butter and jelly. While the offense might have some trouble against this, there's going to be so much spam damage. I mean, sure, Carrots can get a lot of charge on their bubbles, but that's really it. And they're going to have to try and get in using, all right, I love that, using the Symmetra to go right in and using that teleporter to swoosh onto the point. And they buy themselves at least the first third, but they didn't win the fight. They just got positioning. So sure, Avium will give up the first third, but it won't be enough to win the point outright for Annihilation Esports.
I think it would have gone beautiful if the Symmetra or Yankee Wolf didn't push too forward. He pushed a little bit just too much in front of the Reinhardt shield, and bam, destroyed. Her portal came up and was able to move the team, but there was no form of defense that was able to be put through. I wonder if that would have worked if she hadn't been annihilated so quickly.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about it is that it only really works once, so Yankee Wolf moved over. Nice shot by Faded. Great fire strike onto the Riptire from Dantwist, though Hui and Story getting some revenge, and two turret kills from Hui. I mean, I am fearful for when Torb gets those PTR buffs coming, because you're already seeing Hui, on the Torb can have those nuanced picks, some niche picks on maps like Horizon Lunar Colony. Imagine this character showing up more often behind an Orisa shield or elsewhere.
Yeah, you don't expect it. Look at that placement. It's just going to literally, you're going to walk up, all of a sudden you're getting shot by something somewhere. So it is definitely annoying.
Yeah, it's two theaters of war here. Either you fight who's behind the Orisa shield, or you fight the Torb turret on the other side, which is now Molten Cord here. Seamus gets the biotic grenade. Story finds Hop. 6v4 situation here for Avium, and they're winning this cleanly, getting some more kills. Yankee Wolf trying to do something against the turret, but Sox is just protecting it, babysitting it for right next door. Yankee Wolf gets DMAC, gets hooked, gets turreted, and now 2 minutes for Annihilation Esports. That's all they have left, or this best of 3 is over.
Just wonder. I mean, we're seeing Avium. I mean, they got a good amount of defensive ultimates coming out here. Annihilation. I truly wonder what they're looking for. I mean, Graviton is coming up, but combo, I suppose. Maybe Reinhardt going into it, but right now, Avium taking advantage of that higher elevation, so it's going to be difficult to combo with that.
And there's a Junkrat again from Dantwist, and the 3K plus the DMAC, and then Sox picks up Yankee Wolf, annihilates Annihilation Esports. They couldn't even do a single thing about it, couldn't even get a single foot on the point, and the team kill comes through. 1 minute and 15 seconds there now for Annihilation Esports remaining on their offensive attempts.
And they're going to be trying the same thing again. Maybe they're trying to gain some form of ultimate here, or keep pushing into the fray to see if they can get the good ultimates out of the way. With Junkrat's out of the way, the only thing left right now is Hog when it comes to any form of great damage coming from an ultimate. So we'll see if it works here.
Oh, and a huge biotic grenade from Seamus. That caught 5 of Annihilation Esports' players. So the cleanup, the melt, is immediate. No chance for Annihilation Esports. They have to try again, and now they have 40 seconds to do it.
And Seamus is just constantly getting those anti-heals. Both of them, really. Both Annas on both teams have been pretty good at those anti-heals, and it's just changing up the game there to be just out of it for just an entire, what is it, like 3 to 4 seconds? It's harsh.
Yeah. But the ultimates are there for Annihilation Esports to do it. We've seen these teams clutch it out against one another before. Hops finds Seamus early, though. So Avium already losing a support. Seamus laughing about that one, and certainly not in position to really do, complain about that. And now the fight transitioning towards the point. There's the sound barrier from Hops, but a Graviton will keep Avium, keep both teams kind of really in that juncture, in that corner chokehold area. And now it's taken away, and Annihilation Esports might be able to steal it. There's no one on the point for Avium, even though they still have players alive. Fade will find Dantwist's Riptire, and Avium gets kills, but Annihilation Esports, they didn't win the fight, yet are still able to steal away the point from Avium. What a play.
Yeah, awkward. A little too slow of a response from Avium. I suppose there's not really anything in their repertoire to be able to just dive on other than Hog walking up and everybody following him up behind, but there was zero response coming out there, and just easy point going on Annihilation. I mean, easy point being they lost all their time going on round 1, but at the end there, definitely easy.
Well, as they say, we take those, so I'm sure Annihilation Esports not complaining about it at all. And now they're just walking on the point again, but Avium's certainly more ready for it this time. There's a nano-boosted Seadro moving up aggressively, finds Carrots, Tantwist steals the kill on Faded, and then Seadro gets another onto Hops. 3 minutes and change remaining for the offensive push for Annihilation Esports, but they are taken out once more.
I feel for Zeshi, man. I mean, just to see his entire team purple and not be able to do anything in any which way or form to help them, it must not be easy.
Yeah, exactly. Annihilation Esports, even though they got that first point, Avium, of course, definitely doesn't want to let this go to a third and final map. So it's time to see how it'll go. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Just as Annihilation is trying to get set up here, they are losing a bit of time, but they have this EMP building up on their Sombra, and now there's the push. Molten Core, though, in response from Hui, moving in. Their Story and Seamus trying to find Faded, and Seadro will help out. Sox finds Carrots, and that's the pickup again for Avium. Another fight win, and about 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining for Annihilation.
And they keep butting their heads into this wall, and I wonder how the composition will fare. I suppose in a fair environment. Rally is coming up, so the armor is going to be huge on all the team. Even Anna is probably not going to die coming up in this fight. But we'll see if their tanky frontline will be able to deal with this dive.
And there's another Riptire from Donchus. We saw what it did last time. Only gets 1 for his troubles. Faded's the only one to go down. Not a big 3K like last time, but it's not a big deal. Avium wins the fight nonetheless. Annihilation bounced back once more. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. But look at this, JJ. Annihilation only has 3 ultimates, and 3 of them really, all 3 of them are huge, but they're about to have Sound Barrier as well. They'll have Earth Shatter ready to go, a Nano Boost to throw onto, the Reinhardt or the Winston. They have an EMP about to get ready, and really they only have to worry about the Primal Reach and the Nano Boost from the other team. So this is an opportunity for Annihilation Esports to not only win this fight, potentially do it with some time left.
Yeah, and Yankee's looking for it. I mean, I think the biggest person to EMP right now is going to be Monkey. He's going to be holding on to that point. He's not going to leave it alone, and it's going to save him a lot of time with throwing away that Monkey ultimate.
Yeah, 50 seconds now remaining for Annihilation. 4 ultimates built up against the 2. Though now, with this time that's been passed here, Avium's now about to have a Riptire again and a Self-Destruct, but there's the EMP we were waiting for, and a Sound Barrier, both from the Sombra and Lucio respectively. Demech this Story, and now Annihilation's in complete control of the point, though Sox finds Zesh in the meantime. Another Molten Core here from Hui, trying to stay alive. Earth Shatter gets cracked, and Hui's the only one to go down, though, and Seadro finds Hops in the meantime. Faded gets catapulted across the point. It was a crazy air that Reinhardt got, though they were debuffed the entire time. So Seamus gets a quick kill, that is, afterward. Seadro and Hawks pick up at the end, and Avium in complete control once more. Annihilation Esports, only 10 seconds left to do this.
It's going to be difficult with, no Sound Barrier, no anything else. Rally is coming up, though, so we'll see if it works.
And another Dan-Twist Riptire only finds one again, but it's the Lucio. Faded, nano boosted, gets slapped, but it was the tail end of the nano boost, not a huge loss. And then Cedro gets slapped, just a perfect setup there for a pin, but Yankee Wolf now with the EMP. Someone needs to get on the point here for Avium, and it will be the D.Va. Story super low, and Dan-Twist as well on the point. Who he finds Carrots, overtime ticking away. This is the defensive composition that's working for Avium with the Torp still, and stocks of the Widowmaker. Avium getting 2, the turret helping out. It's a 7v6 situation with that turret, and Avium will take it 2-0, holding off Annihilation Esports on the last portion of Horizon Lunar Colony to win the set.
Yeah, power not enough, and even with that strong defense, the Junkrat, the Torbjorn, everything in between, just ridiculing away, reducing, if you will, at your HP, it just destroys completely that composition. Good job coming out of Avium.
Yep, and that has to be the play of the game right there. That was a 3K for the ages, and the Riptire, I think, even got a D-Mech towards the end there too. So great play. Good job to both of these teams. Avium now putting themselves up 2-0, or 2 wins, 0 losses, that is, in the season. And Annihilation Esports now 1-1. Good play to both of these teams in NA Premier Week 2. JJ, any closing thoughts?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm excited. The fact that we've got so early on these two teams that in many ways are very close to each other in skill. Can't wait to see what Avium's going to be doing in the higher bracket, and I can't wait to see if Annihilation's able to make their what we saw so much initially just grow so much more coming up to the end at finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see how these teams go through the season. Of course, it is week 2, so it's early in that season. There's still so much more to go here at UGC Overwatch. Thank you all for tuning in. Of course, thank you, Jay.